Beard Wizard family, welcome to day 18 of Battle of the Beer Advent Calendars. We've managed to do this for 18 days, only missing one, having to double up a little while back. And I'm excited for today. I'm really excited for today. But before I get into it, what is this? This is a live review show where I'm pitting a German beer advent calendar against an Illinois beer advent calendar. The German one's that Costco beer advent calendar from the Kalia company, where they put together a lot of small batch and private breweries from all over Germany and put them in a 24-day calendar. And then we've got the Illinois Advent Calendar, which is a bunch of microbrews and small craft breweries from Illinois that was put together by the Lodi Tap House. Now, last year, Germany won handily. This year, Illinois is keeping up within a couple of beers. Germany's still winning, but it's a much narrower margin than it was last year. And like I said, today I'm excited. Unfortunately, small craft breweries in the United States seem to think that the more hops and the more stuff you put in a beer, the better it is. I tend to be much more traditional in my beer taste. I don't mind the occasional flavored beer. I don't mind the occasional novelty, interesting, something or other. But at the end of the day, beer should taste like beer. If beer tastes like cold brew Starbucks coffee with some chocolate syrup in it, that's not beer. Sorry, that's just me. But today is going to be pretty exciting. Before we jump into it, make sure you click that red subscribe button. Join the Beard Wizard family. Let me know if you're in the live stream, say hi. And if you're watching the recording, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've had these beers before and what you think of them. So, I'd like to make this educational. It is a non-scientific review. I'm always pitting two different styles of beer together. They're not always the same. I just do it to tell you which one I like better than the other. But I do like to keep it a little educational. So, from Kuchlbauer Brewery, we have, I think that's the name of the beer, the Alte Liebe or Alte Lebe. It's a Dunkle Weisse. Dunkle Weisse is probably, it's top 2 or 3 German beers for me. Dunkle Weisse is absolutely one of my favorite styles of beer ever. Because I love wheat beers, but I also like dark beers, and that's the best of both worlds when you have a Dunkle Weisse. So, cool can art, really neat stuff. Very simple, but I like it. It's very nice. This brewery has been around. Kuchlbauer possesses one of the oldest official brewing rights in the world. They actually have the rights that were established in Abensburg in the 1300s. The family that currently owns it acquired it and the restaurant Zum Kuchlbauer in 1904, but the brewery's name goes back as far as 1751. But the brewing rights, 1300s. That's how old. That's some of the longevity that we're talking about with some of these German beers. More than 100 years ago, the Kuchlbauer property included a farm, hotel, and restaurant. To this day, hospitality is still at the heart of the matter. Now in the 9th generation, the family brewery is in good hands. That's another thing that's not, it happens here in the U.S., but, the U.S. hasn't been around as long as that, but 100 years it has. Family businesses just don't seem to stick around like they used to, or like they do still in some areas of Europe, where 9th generation running this brewery. That's just fantastic. All right, and then they are facing off against Tighthead Brewing Company's classic Vienna style lager. Kind of an artsy can. And it says on here, our Vienna style lager is a rich yet crisp malty lager brewed in the classical Austrian tradition. We hope you will celebrate and enjoy this beer with friends and family throughout blah, 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 blah. We shall see. The reason I'm excited for this is because this is 2 German-style beers. It's 2 beers that I should like, depending on how much they play around with this. That's the other thing that American breweries tend to do. So they're like, oh, we're going to make a traditional whatever, German wheat. or an English stout or whatever it is, and then they mess with the recipe and it doesn't come out quite right. Like we had a German stout yesterday and it didn't taste like a stout. Germans aren't known for stouts, and so they just didn't make it the way a stout is made. It didn't taste right. It just wasn't a stout. So we tend to do that over here too. We tend to play around with traditional styles and make it our own. Anyway, we'll see. I'm keeping an open mind though. Tighthead Brewing is in Mundelein, a suburb of Chicago. It's a brew pub, which that's a lot of the newer breweries that have been around in the last decade or so are not just breweries, but brew pubs or restaurants and breweries. And it makes total sense because it costs a lot of money to make beer, to make good beer, and then to sell it and all the licensing and all the costs behind it all. If you could have a good restaurant along with it, that'll help fund a lot of things. It will also bring more people in. When you just have a brewery, you're only bringing in people who want to try beer. If you have a brewery and a restaurant, then you're bringing in, and you have good food, then you're bringing in people who want to eat. Now, they've been around since 2011. It talks about music. So I'm betting they have a stage and they do live concerts and whatnot. But yeah, they've got a pretty good looking team on their website. And yeah, so Vienna style lager, like they described, should be reddish brown in color, coppery, malty aroma, slight malt sweetness. Should have a notable degree of toasted and or slightly roasted malt character. Hop bitterness is low to medium low. That's going to be the key here, because one of the things that I notice a lot with U.S. beers, microbrews and stuff, is they're all super hoppy. Now, there's a lot of speculation on why that is. Some people say they're hoppy because everybody's getting all hopping on the IPA trend. One of my buddies likes to say, and he makes beer, he says, well, if you make the beer really hoppy, you can cover up all the mistakes of all the other flavors. So I don't know how true that is. I don't make beer, but that's what he says. Anyway, we are going to let Germany go first today because I know I'm going to like this. It's a Dunkle Weisse. Unless they really screwed up, I know I'm going to like this one. So, pros. That right there is one of the best in the box so far. And this is the first time I've had it. This is the first year. I know it's not the best one. The best one is coming up. It's always the last one in the box, at least the last 3 years. But that's freaking delicious. We'll just take this and I'll go. And I'll just enjoy this the rest of the night. This is so good. Sorry. I know it's going to seem really biased, but that is freaking delicious. I'm not expecting the Illinois beer to win unless it's super amazing. I just want it to taste like a freaking Vienna lager. And as long as it does, then my night is set, because then I have 2 delicious beers to finish off tonight. We'll see. All right. So this did have a nice head on it when I poured it. It has diminished slightly, but it's still, you can still see the retention on the glass. Great coppery color. It poured really nicely, really smoothly. I gave it a proper German glass because it should be a proper German beer. Smells right. It doesn't smell real hoppy or bitter, which is good. That's not what I want. I don't want a lot of hoppiness with my Vienna lager. Cheers. Damn it. It's hoppier than it should be. It's not bad. It's not bad hoppy, but it tastes like they were starting to get into the IPA realm and they pulled back a little bit. That's disappointing. It doesn't smell hoppy. I'm getting a little bit of the toasted malts, but not the initial flavor, and the aftertaste is that bitter hoppiness. And that right there ruins it for me as far as the Vienna lager is concerned. There is no that is not that's not what it should be. It's okay. It's not terrible. I'm going to finish it. If I had ordered this, I wouldn't be mad. If I'd paid for it, I wouldn't be mad. Would I ever drink this again given the choice? No. Is it a Vienna style lager? No, not really. It's just kind of disappointing. It's kind of like an oatmeal raisin cookie when you thought it was going to be a chocolate chip cookie. Yeah, it's still edible. It's still sweet. It still gets the job done. But you were expecting a chocolate chip cookie and you got edible disappointment. So we're going to give it to Germany today. Germany is ahead by 3 or 4. I need to look again. That Dunkle Weisse is delicious. It's smooth. It tastes exactly like you would expect a Dunkle Weisse to taste. Nice, smooth mouthfeel. That slight sweetness, the sort of wheatiness of a wheat beer, that smooth kind of bready aroma of a wheat beer, but that dark, toasty, sort of richness of a Dunkle. This is a delicious beer. I would drink this all the freaking time if I could get it here. So Germany wins. Stick around in a little bit. I'm going to be doing I almost said Battle of the Beer Advent Calendars. That's what we're doing. I'm going to be doing a Beard Wizard reviews, and I think Otakin is tonight. I will see you guys all again soon. You have a great one. Much love. Bye.